Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, hi, I'm Melody, and on this channel I like to discuss fragrances every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So if that's something you're interested in, please subscribe down below. Today I'm sharing my March Scentbird subscription, so if that interests you, please keep watching. So for the month of March, I decided to be a little bit more adventurous with my Scentbird picks, and sure enough, that did not end very well. I picked 3 fragrances for Scentbird. I got Acqua de Parma's Fico Di Amalfi, as well as Sandalwood, Sandalwood and Oak, and Vadig and Voltaire's This Is Her. They all came in tubes like this, which I'm finding that I don't mind at all. I don't actually need the little atomizer. They spray just fine like this with just in the glass. I took notes in my lemon notebook. I'll be looking down at my notes quite a bit because I wore them last month and I've since forgotten what I wrote about them, but I remember not really enjoying any of them. So first I have Scent of Wood here. On here it says a smoldering haze of sacred sage and smoky gaiac wood transcend the purity of sandalwood for a mystical voyage of the senses, barrel aged in American oak. So the notes I have here are sandalwood, burnt sugar, smoked sage, gaiac wood, and vanilla. So at the very beginning, it smells super woody. It reminds me of my old shop class back in middle school. It then starts like smelling more like a campfire kind of smokiness. At about the 10-minute mark, it starts to get a little sweeter from that burnt sugar and that vanilla, and it starts to smell a little bit by the fireplace. But something about this still has that kind of there's something about the woody quality in it that smells almost sour. Like I never would have thought to consider any wood scents smelling sour, but there's something about it that doesn't have that like richness of a lot of woods. It's kind of like this higher kind of smell that smells maybe like it's still too green. Like I don't know how else to describe it. Like rather than some aged wood that's been dried and ready for a campfire, it's like you snapped a bunch of like fresh twigs off of a tree and they're like still too green, and something about it. That's the only way I can describe in my mind what I envision when I smell this fragrance, and I just don't care for it. So I will not be using any more of this fragrance. That's a problem I have with these Scentbirds, or any of these services. You get a lot of fragrance, but what happens when you decide and you don't like it after, 1 or 2 wears? You wind up with quite a bit of fragrance left over. I mean, do you just pass it on to someone else to see if they like it? I'm not sure what I'll do with this, but I might just have to pass it along. Next, I have Zadig and Voltaire's This Is Her. This Is Her is a fragrance launched in 2006 that breaks away from the traditional perfume market to include a delicate balance between a fresh, clean scent and something more mysterious and dark. The notes they have on here are bergamot, peony, sambac, jasmine, tonka bean heart, and milky chestnut cream. It opens very sweet and quite nice, actually. Whipped cream note and that nutty chestnut quality are quite nice, but it starts to get really screechy, like a synthetic scent, and it also feels like really, really heavy. There's something to this that I just really didn't care for. If it had stayed like smelling like that nice fluffy whipped cream and with a little bit of woodiness, I would have loved it. But there's something about it that like went really, really synthetic and then just wore really heavy on me. I don't know how else to describe it. There are like fragrances that are light and airy, and this one just felt heavy. It like feels like it weighs you down somehow. And it was really cloying and actually gave me quite a bad headache. However, it only lasted about 4 hours, so I didn't have to sit with it for too long. But I tried it a second time hoping that it was just a fluke and maybe I sprayed too much or something, but I sprayed it again just 1 or 2 times and it gave me a headache again. This fragrance, even with like 1 or 2 sprays, feels like really heavy and like it chokes you out. So I don't actually think it was due to, it being too warm or anything. I wore it on a day that was in about the 50s, and it was still a fragrance that I just really haven't enjoyed. And I know that there are a lot of mixed reviews on this fragrance. I know that there are people who absolutely love it, and there's just as many people who have a similar opinion to me, that it's just a little bit too cloying and quite heavy. But this is just not a fragrance that I really enjoy. And last we have Acqua di Parma's Fico Di Amalfi. So it says sunny citrus, top notes brightly sparkle above velvety fig nectar, crisp pink pepper and jasmine, a base of cedarwood, warm benzoin, and aromatic fig wood sustain Fico di Amalfi's intriguing harmony. The notes on here say bergamot, fig nectar, pink pepper, fig tree wood, and cedar wood. So this one opens very green, and it has a bit of an herbaceous quality. It has a very medicinal type of smell, almost like a topical cream of some sort. However, if you can get past all of that, it was just way too masculine for me. I don't mind many of the unisex fragrances, but I think I tend towards wanting something that smells more feminine. And for me, this was way, 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 way too masculine on me. But even beyond that, it just smells like some kind of topical cream. So I wouldn't even recommend this on a man. So this was one that I didn't care for. So those were 3 disappointments that I will have to pass on, see if anybody else likes, or because I can't imagine how I would sell a small Scentbird sample. I don't know. Maybe I could put them next week. Our neighborhood has a garage sale. I might just stick them in there, see what happens. But yeah, I'm just not going to wear those. So I want to continue to be adventurous and try new scents and stuff, but I also have to recognize what kind of fragrances actually work for me and which ones don't. So this month was a little bit of a flop, but I want to continue finding new fragrances and seeing how I like them. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you want to come back, so I would love it if you would subscribe. If you've had any luck with any of these fragrances or know of any fragrances you think I might actually like, I would love it if you would drop those down in the comments. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a blessed day. Bye.